I got a call from a friend in Windsor, Canada. He said, "Hey, what's all that black dust over there on your side of the river?"
Is that the pet Coke?
It is.
Big black piles, about 40 feet high.
When it would be windy, it would raise like a brown cloud into the air.
It would go into the water and it would spread out into the neighborhood.
It's blowing into houses, it's blowing into water.
It would get all over your clothing and cars and houses and yards and gardens.
It was petroleum coke, or pet coke. It's a byproduct of processed tar sands oil that comes from oil refineries.
First call I make was the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality. They didn't know anything about it. Called the mayor's office, didn't know anything about it. Found out it was the Koch brothers that contracted out with Marathon Oil Refinery, who then contracts out with this other storage company to dump it on the riverfront with no permitting, no fugitive dust plan, nothing.
And I don't think they thought there would be any pushback on it. Because oftentimes these billionaires like the Koch brothers and the people who run Marathon Petroleum basically do whatever they want because they have huge checkbooks.
This is a product that causes cancer, respiratory issues, asthma.
We couldn't sit around waiting for the state to do anything. Piles might still be over there.
Rashida Tlaib, then a state representative from Detroit, did her own investigation and gathered some samples.
I went and got like these Ziploc bags from underneath my kitchen sink, my kitchen gloves.
And we formed a small team, loaded up in cars, and went over there. The property was marked as no trespassing, but there was no actual barriers to keep you out. So a small group of us proceeded onto the property
and jumped over a bunch of other like piles of aggregate and past these tracks.
Through a little bit of rough terrain to get to the pet coke pile.
And literally got Ziploc bags of petroleum coke, just shoved it into 3 different plastic Ziploc bags.
She took a sample to send it to see what was in it and did not like the outcome, didn't like the results.
And that's when they determined it was very harmful to a person's health, to the community, to the environment. Shouldn't be just exposed in the open area like it was.
Rashida made it happen.
More people heard about it. It was in the news and on TV and in the press and all. And ultimately, they had to do something.
It's people like Rashida Tlaib making the calls, stand on top of them to do the right thing.
Finally, the mayor took notice and said, okay, we're giving them, 20 so days to remove the piles. And they removed those black piles of toxins from our backyard.
Rashida was on the forefront of saying no to this madness. And she was not afraid to take on the Koch brothers.
I don't think it was normal that your average state representative would do that, to go to that extent to investigate and find out that information. From what I've known of Rashida, though, she's always been a fighter. She's always been very vocal. She's a go-at-it, go-get-it type woman.
We need someone that is not going to buckle, that will say, you got the big checkbook, but you know what? I have the people behind me. They put me here. And that's who I'm responding to.